Hello Starlings, my name is Leandra and this is my home kitchen segment for the Elite Stardust Collective. Typically we'd be doing this with our friends in their kitchens, but due to quarantine, I'll be showing you guys mine. My passion for cooking began when I saw the smile that my food brought to people's faces, and in turn brought a smile to mine. Hopefully when you're at home making great meals, it'll bring a smile to your face as well.
Good thing to keep in mind when shopping for vegetables is sometimes going out on a limb and picking some ugly vegetables. Just because a vegetable is misshapen or discolored doesn't always mean that it's rotten.
Today I'll be showing you how to make one of my favorite meals, crispy teriyaki tofu, white rice with veggies. Not only is this meal packed with protein, but it's packed with lots of flavor too.
So the ingredients you're gonna need are preferably extra firm tofu or firm tofu if you can't find extra firm. Do not use silken tofu. You will also need cornstarch to coat the tofu, but if you can't find cornstarch, you can use arrowroot flour or just regular plain flour. For the tofu, you're also gonna need some seasonings like salt, pepper, garlic powder, and soy sauce. Today I'm gonna be using Bragg's liquid amino acid instead of soy sauce. For the rice, you're gonna need some cooking oil, and as for the veggies, need olive oil, fresh minced garlic, peppers, broccoli, red cabbage, carrots, and white mushrooms. You can use pretty much any veggie you'd like for this recipe. So once you've drained the tofu of its water from the packaging, you're going to want to put it on a cutting board and cut it into small rectangular pieces. From there, you're going to lay it on top of your cutting board with paper towel underneath it to soak in the water. Then you're going to place another flat object on top of it with more paper towel. Then you're going to take some heavy pots, pans, books, anything that you really have at your disposal to put on top. You don't want to make it too heavy because then you can squish the tofu. So while your tofu is being pressed, you're going to want to go ahead and start off your rice. For the rice here, I've got around 2 cups of white rice already pre-measured. You're then going to want to add around 2.5 to 3 cups of water. So I usually just have the water in the rice be about an inch above the rice, and that's how I know I have the right amount of water. Then I'm going to go ahead and add about a tablespoon of cooking oil, some garlic powder, and salt to taste. I'm going to go ahead and stir all of the ingredients together, making sure they're really well incorporated. Put it on the stove on a medium-high heat and let that boil uncovered until all of the water is evaporated from the rice. So while your rice is cooking and your tofu is still being pressed, you're going to want to start cutting up your vegetables. You can use, like I said, pretty much any vegetable that you have at your disposal. These are just the vegetables that I had in my house. So I've had this purple cabbage in my fridge for quite some time, so I'm just going to be trimming off any parts that are kind of going bad, and I will be donating any food scraps or food waste to Haley's compost. So I'm just going to chop this up. I'm not going to chop it like finely or anything like that. I'm just going to leave it kind of chunky. While it cooks, it will the layers will separate. I'm going to start cutting up the peppers, and the food waste from the peppers I will be donating to Haley's compost also. I'm then going to start cutting up the carrots, and just going to be cutting them like in half and then half again, so then they're in long slices. Then I'm going to go ahead and start cutting up the broccoli. I really don't like broccoli stems, but their broccoli stems are really good to put in a soup, or just cut them up and put them with any other veggies that you're sauteing. They're still just as good. So I'm just going to cut them into smaller little florets. As for the mushrooms, I'm just going to kind of keep them whole, just chopping them roughly. Then I'm going to go ahead and get my garlic, peel that off, and we're going to end up mincing that. You have it. That's the veggies that we've got to cut up. They look so beautiful. My rice came to a boil. It evaporated all of the water inside. So now I'm just turning it down to low heat, and I'm putting the top on it so that it can simmer and cook. So now that my tofu has been pressed for about 30 to 45 minutes now, I'm going to go ahead and try to remove whatever water is still left inside the tofu. And I'm going to try to press down on the tofu firmly, but not too hard so that I don't squish the tofu. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cut my tofu into small pieces. You can cut your tofu into whatever kind of shapes that you'd like. Today I'm gonna be seasoning my tofu with some garlic powder, black pepper, and Bragg's liquid amino acid. That's basically just a soy sauce substitute. It's what I had laying around my house. If you don't have soy sauce, you can always use salt to season your tofu. That's perfectly fine as well. So now really quickly, I'm just going to start heating up my oil. I'm going to be using some vegetable oil. I'm going to put this to heat on medium-high heat. I'm going to go ahead and add my cornstarch. I'm not going to add too much cornstarch because I don't want to like really coat my tofu. I just want to get a light dusting on there. After my tofu is evenly coated, I'm going to go ahead and start dropping them in the hot oil. You're going to want to do this really slowly because there is going to be some splatter. So while your tofu is frying, you're going to want to start sauteing your vegetables. So you're going to get a pan like this one. Then you're going to add some olive oil to coat the bottom of the pan, heated on a medium-high heat. Then you're going to want to mince some fresh garlic in there. Let that cook for a little bit. Slowly adding in your peppers, letting that cook for a little while. Also, these smells in my kitchen are so good right now. I wish there was like smell-o-vision because this is so good. Then you're going to want to add in your broccoli and your carrots, leaving your mushrooms for last. I just don't like when my mushrooms are like really mushy. So once you've got all that stuff really well incorporated together, you're going to mix it all up and you're going to lower the heat, top it, and let that cook for a little bit. While that's cooking, you're going to want to make sure that you're moving around your tofu just so that it's not sticking to the bottom of the pan. Then you're going to want to prepare a bowl on the side with some paper towel just so that when your tofu's done, you can put it in there. Looks like the rice is pretty much done. Shut the heat off and sit there with the top on. I am going to fluff the rice, put the top back on, and just let it sit there until we're done with our meal. I'm gonna go ahead and start removing my tofu from the oil and putting it in the bowl to drain. I'm then gonna go ahead and start adding the other pieces of tofu that I have to start frying. At this point, I'm gonna check on my veggies, move them around, season them to taste with some salt and pepper. Now I'm adding my mushrooms. I'm gonna go ahead and mix that around again and just top that and let that cook some more. My veggies are almost done and so is my tofu. Guys, check out this tofu. The inside is just like so meaty. It's super bouncy. It's awesome. Let's get this tofu out of the oil and this meal plated. So this is the finished product, guys. I cut up some scallions, I sliced a little piece of avocado, a small slice of lime just to squeeze on top of everything, and a little bit of sriracha. Let's see how everyone likes it.
Hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please subscribe. Okay. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you can get notified whenever we upload more awesome content. Feel free to leave a comment down below letting us know what you think. I certainly enjoyed sharing this meal with you guys. Have a blessed day.